Welcome back to Women's Biz Tribe Success Summit. We have been having such a fantastic day so far. You've just come off Jean Adams, awesome Jean, and Jane Vandermeer. Oh my goodness, what a style queen. We are now moving on through our 44 speakers over 2 days. How insane is that? I've been absolutely loving the engagement on the chat. Definitely comment, get engaged. That's the way you change, right? So whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, just put your comments there, because our speakers will come in following their lives. They'll be able to see those. They can engage with you. So can everybody else watching. Make sure you got a pen and write those gems down. Definitely, there's been so many gold nuggets. And for those of you who are just tuning in, because we're across different time zones, welcome to Women's Biz Tribe. You've all got complimentary membership for the next month. So head on over to womensbiztribe.com and check out all of our events. There's something happening every day. We are so excited about meeting you. So I am now going to introduce you to our beautiful next speaker. Her name is Annette Densham. She is an award-winning PR and business awards specialist. I'm talking specialist. She knows how to get those business awards with people. And sometimes it still surprises her, because to be honest, when you ask her, she'll say the only award she ever won was the Top Dog Achievement Award in grade 2. So she's certainly come a long way for the clients that she serves. And all of this happened when she lost her cushy corporate communications role, and she had to reinvent herself. And how many people have had to do that? Definitely over the last couple of years of the pandemic. Step out behind the keyboard and then, thought, you know what, I think I'm going to build my own PR agency. So she used all of those fantastic skills in journalism, communication, and she has built her business, the Audacious Agency, so that all of those people that she serves are totally, in her words, Googlicious. I love it. I'm going to steal it. I want to be Googlicious. Who doesn't? Anyway, that's enough from me. Over to you, Annette. Tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself to those watching in at this summit, and we're going to have a fantastic conversation over the next half an hour.
Oh, we will. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Annie, for having me. I am a writer. I guess if you want to really distill down what it is that I do, I'm a writer and a storyteller. I've been a voracious reader and lover of books since I could hold a book. I think back to when I was a kid. I was just like, my room was wall to wall books. I just always had my nose in a book. And when it came time to pick what I was going to do when I grew up, it was like, I want to do something with writing. And my mum used to always say that I was a bit of a sticky beak. So I went, how can I be a sticky beak and write? So I went into journalism, because what better career for someone who's a sticky beak to be able to ask whatever questions. And I will tell you, there's some questions that are asked that I'll never be able to unhear the answers to, because some people overshare. But that's what I've been doing my entire adult life. I started in journalism at 15, and I've really not veered that far off that path. Is that everything I do involves words, it involves people and their stories, and how I can help them to share it with more people, because a story unshared is actually really kind of sad, because they're the things that inspire us and motivate us and encourage us and cause us to act and change the world.
Wow. What a great pairing. I love that. A girl who's a bit nosy. What a great way. Ask people questions. And I'm probably the type of person on the other end, always oversharing. People are regularly going, oh, wasn't quite expecting that much detail, but thank you very much. So I'll try and be a bit more respectful in the future. So often, though, when you've got a job like that, it's kind of like I like being behind the scenes. I'm not an out the front kind of person, whereas now you've got the Audacious Agency, you're all about being at the front. And I've just been at a few awards nights with you, and you are the lady in the funky outfits, rocking it, looking queen of confidence, let I say. But I'm feeling that wasn't always the way. All right, I'm thinking there's a big journey that you've had getting to where you are today.
Absolutely. I'm a kid of the 70s and the 80s. I grew up with being told by my mother and my grandparents children should be seen and not heard. Nobody likes a show off. No one likes people who big note themselves. That really typical Aussie tall poppy syndrome. Not their fault. They came from a very Victorian background, and, there's etiquette and manners and all of that stuff that goes with that generation. And it was also a generation where women still weren't really appreciated and acknowledged for what we bring to the world. So I grew up watching that, hearing that, because I was so inquisitive. But I think I got to the point where I was like, okay, it's probably best just to be small, because if I'm small, I can't get into trouble. No one's going to pick on me, and all of those things that we do when we go through our own head and we think that we're protecting ourselves. But I guess what I really did was I just quietened my voice. And we've all got a voice. And it's really sad when we're in a position where we feel that we can't use it. So it's been a huge learning curve for me over the past, like I'm 52 now. I don't think it was till I was 50 where I went, that's really not serving me well. I think maybe it's time to change. So, I was like a lot of your kids who were, shy introverts, which is like people go, you're an introvert? It's like, yeah, I am. I've just learnt to be, and I've built that confidence. I think being an introvert doesn't mean that you can't be confident. You can't be good with people. It just means that you don't need to be in that space all the time to be recharged. My favourite place is putting my pajamas on at the end of the night, sitting on the couch with the dog on my lap and my hubby by my side. It's kind of like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. Bliss. So I think, being bullied through school, we moved a lot as a kid. Like by the time I was 18, we'd moved something like 97 times. So it was always being pulled up, move, pulled up, move, pulled up, move, make new friends, lose new friends. So I became very isolated until I changed. I know exactly the moment I changed. I was 11 years old. I was in grade 5. The school bully was just, the person who bullied me the most, threw my pencil case out the window while the teacher wasn't in the class. And I remember, I still remember it, that snap of going, no, you can't do that to me. And I humiliated him in front of the whole class because I stood up for myself.
Oh, way to go.
And from that moment I went, you know what my job is on the planet? My job is to stand up for people as much as I can. And I think even though, all of these other challenges through life, that's a really consistent theme through my life. Is my husband calls it lost dog syndrome. I have lost dog syndrome. There are people who go, oh, I can help you. Come over here and let me help you. Or I can do that for you. Let me help that. And I found it really empowering because it means that I can use my heart and my skills to make other people's lives better.
How beautiful. I tell you what, you're a heart warrior to the max. I just absolutely can just feel it. It's palpable and it's absolutely beautiful. And that's what other people need, right? If you're in that right profession and that's your gifting and you can give that to other people, how absolutely fantastic. I want to slow the journey though down and then go, well, did you ever think of becoming an entrepreneur, and having a business in your, 20s, 30s, 40s, even though you went into journalism, and then you didn't have the sort of old fashioned parental influences. You're an adult. Did it ever strike a chord with you, or did a critical moment happen and went, you know what, I'm going to have to really go all guns blazing and really put myself out there?
Oh, heavens no. I mean, like I said, 70s and 80s, there weren't really many female entrepreneurial role models that you could say, oh, I can do that. It was very traditional. You went to school, you got good marks, you got a job, you worked hard, you bought a house, you got married, you had kids. Life's over. It was kind of like, oh, that's a bit boring. So, and I come from a very blue collar background. My mum's a hard worker. My grandfather worked for the paper mills in Burnie for 40 years. My grandmother was a housewife. That they were the people that I were looking at and going, okay, well, what can I do with my life? And I think I kind of freaked them out a little bit when I went, well, I'm not going to be a secretary or a nurse. I'm going to be a journalist. And they were like, okay, well, that's a bit out there.
That's very progressive.
It was very progressive, especially in 1980, where, you know,
yes.
Yeah, like I'm a really smart person. You know, I did really well at school. It was pretty effortless for me. You know, my mother really thought that I was going to be a doctor because that's how smart I am. I think I still am that smart. I may have killed a few brain cells over the years, but, you know, still got it. Right. So when I said I'm going to be a journalist, it was like, oh, can you make money out of that? It was all about what income could you earn. Mm-hmm. So my pivotal moment, because I'm a great employee, I'm loyal, I'm hardworking, you know, I bust my guard, I go above and beyond. And in 2013, I returned back to work. You know, 4 or 5 years earlier, I'd stayed home and raised my children until they started primary school. And I went, all right, ready to get back into the workforce now. I've got these skills. Surely someone could use them. And I very quickly landed a job with a fairly large not-for-profit as the publishing editor for their magazine, and used that to move up to comms manager's role. And I got headhunted for this really cool, like it was a really cool role. And it was like, it paid 6 figures. And I'm like going, that's not bad for someone who's been home for 10 years with kids and only back in the workforce for 4.
Yeah.
I must have something. Look at me go. Didn't even last a year before they handed me my financial restructuring redundancy letter. And at 43 in 2013, Queensland government had just, you know, wiped out 14,000 public service roles. The market was flush. And here I was going, what am I going to do now? I'm old. Who's going to hire me?
And so old at 43. Yeah.
So old. Well, I felt old, Annie, because, you know, there's all these young people coming up and I'm like, okay, how can I compete with them? Like imposter syndrome to the max.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine invited me to a seminar with a guy who was teaching people how to use webinars to grow a business. And I got picked as a guinea pig, and it was all based on I could teach people how to do their own PR because I've worked in the media and comms for my whole life. And my business was born. So I've gone from applying for hundreds of jobs to, okay, now I'm a business owner. What do I do next? It's like, didn't know what to do.
And I tell you what, there'll be so many people listening in who've just are in that moment at currently, or have just sort of just emerged from it, because the amount of people who've set up businesses, you know, during the pandemic when the world suddenly did change and pull the rug out from underneath them. Yeah, that's a huge moment. One, just going, oh, how good is this? I get the flexibility and all the dreams of being an entrepreneur, laptop lifestyle. It's just going to be so easy, and it's really social, and, you know, and I can just, you know, plan my own hours and still get to yoga and get my hair done. And then you get the realities of, oh my gosh, I am a business owner. I'm going to have to learn so much. It's all a whole new language often.
It's like that, isn't it?
You wish you'd concentrated more at work when you'd watched other things happening.
I said that to someone the other day. I said, you know, like I had budgets as a comms manager, you know, I had to manage that, but I didn't pay any attention to HR and finance and business administration and ops. It was kind of like, there's people to do that for me. And then when you start your own business, it's all on you, and it's really hard your first few years, because not only are you trying to bring clients in and do what you do really well. Like, I'm a writer. That's what I do really well. I'm really not very good at admin. As a communicator, I'm really not very good at communicating because I'm a creative and introvert. So when I get into creation mode, I'm like this, and then it's like, oh, I should probably talk to my clients and let them know how I'm going, because they can't read my mind. So I've had to learn all of these things. I'm still not very good at a lot of things, but
And that's
10
another
years
good
in
reason
business.
to have, yeah, it's a good reason to have the right partner, the complementary partner in business as well, though. My husband's got that with his partner. I'm the solo operator, so I regularly just get lost in the visionary and the excitement and forget to dot the I's and to tell other people about all the amazing things and how it's going to work. But that's okay. We get there in the end. But yes, I know you've got a business partner. So I'd love you to share with everyone listening in then. So you created this agency, the Audacious Agency. And now why did you pick grants and awards? Now that we're thinking about it, obviously people in business should be recognized for awards, but they often probably don't know how to go about getting them. How do you apply? How do you know what's available? Is that your genius zone?
Look, it has certainly become my genius zone because I think it's almost like the holy trinity of storytelling, empowering people to believe in themselves and what they're doing, and acknowledging that it's actually okay to celebrate your success. And you wrap all of that up. A lot of people think, awards is about trophies. Yeah, that's really nice. But the serendipities of entering awards is so much more than just going, I won an award. It's, it's a real confidence builder for a lot of people. But it really kind of happened by accident, Annie, because I started a PR agency. Initially, it was teaching people how to do their own PR. And then I realized that there's people handing me all this money and they're not doing anything with it because they're busy, they don't have time. So I transitioned into doing people's PR for them. And part of that was, as the media industry has changed, I went and looking at social media and all these different ways to connect with people, I went, okay, so my PR strategies actually need to be like a tapestry, of these beautiful patterns and beautiful threads and silks, bringing and drawing all of these different elements. So that person where Googlicious comes from is that person at the center of the story, the business owner, is able to, reach people across multiple platforms with their stories. And that's where awards came in. And I went, oh, well, I used to write awards in corporate, and that worked really well. People were getting board positions and they were being asked to speak at conferences. And why can't we do that for small business? And then when I partnered up with my amazing partner in Shine, Lauren Clement, so she had a branding agency, and we would often share clients between each other because people would come to me for PR, and it's like they were like me 10 years ago, total gumbies, and like going, I'm really good at this, but I've done nothing else. And she'd handball them back to me. And then one day, Lauren, we were talking about awards, and she said, oh, they're really just a big wank. And I challenged her and I said, no, they're not. That's just a perception that you have based on your experience. Look at it from this point of view. So she entered an award and she won a silver medal in the Stevie Asia Pacific Awards. And she came back and she went, there's something in this. And I went, duh, I know. So we just started teaming up, and we did a trip to New York in 2017, and I took over 5 women, and we all came away with these awesome trophies, amazing experiences. So it was just natural that we kind of went, let's fall in. But I think COVID, like we started Audacious Agency in, 2020. We all know what happened in March 2020. So we went from, oh my God, we've got this amazing new business and all of these awesome PR clients to, where's everyone gone?
Yeah.
So we took some time to reflect on what we really wanted to do. And I basically said to Lauren, I really don't want to do PR anymore. The media industry is changing. It's harder and harder to get stories. Let's focus on profile building instead and helping people drop these beautiful, delicious breadcrumbs of their amazingness on awards and social media and podcasts and things like that, so that organically they can really grow. And we just went, what's the thing that we really love doing? We love awards. We love the events. We love the people that we work with. We love the excitement of, entrepreneurs and business people who are doing amazing things and helping them really reflect on how far they've come and what it is that they have to offer the world. It's just, and it just happens. So yes, I've become a bit of an expert. What's inside my head in regards to awards? I'm pretty sure I could write 700 books. I may be exaggerating though.
Yeah, but that's for another day. Another day. You're too busy at the moment.
Another
I think
day.
you're at the moment because that's it. Once your clients then start winning awards, then other people are looking over, going, "I want to win that award. How do I do that? And is there a science to it?" And you have to be just spectacular, but you also have to just show up. You have to fill out the forms. You have to be able to sell yourself, and a lot of people find it very uncomfortable, and I confidently go and say, oh, look, you are your brand, whether you're up front or behind. We're all a brand. We're all walking marketing, if you like. And so most people, I don't know, a lot will feel very uncomfortable actually even writing to win the award, right? So to give that over to someone with your skills and expertise in the written word, but also be able to get that out of people, because it's a good thing. You should be able to be proud of what you've done and what you've achieved,
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir, baby. Absolutely. Yeah. I think you touched on something before about that it really is about drawing what's in out. And it's hard to do that for yourself. Some people can do it, absolutely. There's a lot of people we've worked with that we've written 1 or 2 awards, and they've taken what we've written and they've used it and adapted it for awards ongoing. I mean, there's a whole heap of people who are finalists in the Raw Awards at the moment that I go, we work with them, 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 and they've taken, I'm assuming they've taken what we've done for them and just grown it and adapted, because really we don't write awards. We empower people to embrace who they are, their zone of genius, and to feel comfortable that it is okay. It's okay. They're like, it's just all bullshit out there. People going, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. Why? Just because someone said that awards are this or awards are that, or you shouldn't do this, is that if you're working really hard at something you're doing, you're making a difference to the world, you've got a solution to a problem, whatever that is, why not be patted on the back for the change that you're making to the world?
What do you see as the most exciting reward for you, if you like, your delight when you work with people and they come home with that award, and they come in, oh, look, I'll pay the money, I'll get some help, I'll put it in, but I still probably won't win. And then when they're there and you just see them on stage and they've actually won or got silver or bronze or something or other, what is the feeling for you? And also, what do you know then is the result for that person moving forward with their business and their brand?
Oh, I just get so excited and so happy. I mean, I've been at award events where clients have won who've like gone, oh, I really don't know whether I should be doing this. I don't think I've got a chance, and they win. And I'm a really emotional person, and I cry and I just cheer, and like if you've ever been to an awards event with Lauren and I, we are the loudest people in the room, not just celebrating our client success, but every single person that's there. It's like, it's a lot to fight against all of society's norms, to put yourself out there and get up on that stage and go, look at what I did. And I think it's really important that not everyone's going to win. Not everybody who works with us wins. Not everybody who works with us gets to the finals. I had a client message me this morning who won an Australian Small Business Champion Award and gold in the International Stevie Awards, and didn't even make the finals in their local region's business awards. And I'm like going, the judges are cracked, because it's the quality of the judges as well that can also dictate how an awards go. So I think we've all got unconscious bias and, all of that type of stuff.
It is very subjective. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. If there's not really tight judging criteria, then, I've worked with judges who've gone, I really like that person. And I've like gone, it doesn't matter whether you like them or not. It's not about like, it's about, have they answered the questions? Are they doing the stuff and the things that makes them worthy of winning this award? But I guess what people get out of it in the end, I think most importantly, is confidence, as a reminder that what they have done has significance to themselves, to the people that they work with, to the community that they're a part of. And also, if they are savvy enough to leverage the process. Now, we've just been to a couple of big awards, and, you know, I keep track of the winners, and I can tell you that this many people have even told anyone that they've won the award, or they've done it once and it's been, I won an award and that was it. Yeah. Now, that's not leveraging the process. You know, it's really important, whether it's an award or a book launch or, you know, a summit, whatever that is that it's what you do afterwards. How do you take that and you enable that part of your business to continue to connect with people? Because our ultimate job in business, it's not what we're selling. I don't sell awards. You know, my business is marketing. My business is marketing, bringing people in, doing the job, doing it well, sending them on their way, and then continuing to talk about, you know, what it is that we do, how we do it, celebrating people's wins, so that it's not just this, you know, flag in the mountain moment. That's one of the things I think that annoys me when I hear people go, I'm going on a trip of a lifetime. Why would you just limit your lifetime to one experience?
Exactly.
Like, why would you not just constantly be looking for ways to continue to elevate what it is that you do? Because what people are looking for is they're looking for people that they like, that they trust, and that they can get to know. And when you're really open with your story, I'm not talking about, you know, you had a fight with your husband on the weekend, but when you share those little intimate moments in your life, like, how did you feel standing on that stage winning? How did you feel when your name wasn't called out? You know, how did that impact you? You know, what were the things that you learned about the process, about yourself, about your audience, about, you know, being in business in general? There's just so many elements, you know, those threads that I was talking about in that tapestry, that you can continue to leverage awards on an ongoing basis. So for me, when I see a client who goes, like Jordana Edwards is a really good one from Breastfeeding Tea Co. She acknowledges all of her wins, she acknowledges her struggles, and she's always out there sharing what it is that she does. Now, she would probably feel uncomfortable with doing that, because I know she's a heart-centered, humble human being. It's not comfortable doing that. I'm going to, right off the bat, I find it uncomfortable, and this is my living, you know. But the more that you do it, the more opportunity you give for people to know you, because, you know, let's face it, people do business with people. They don't do business with the Audacious agency. They do business with Annette and Lauren.
Exactly. They do with people. They love the story. They want to know that it's meaningful, it's heartfelt, that you get them, that you relate to them, that you've had some lived experience in many businesses, not all businesses. And also, they awards do matter. You know, if you're going to go and see, you know, a doctor, you want to know, well, which one is the best one? Which one's got some extra honours degrees and bits and pieces? If you're going with a company, you know, that's right, say it's an ad campaign in previous roles that I've had, I go, well, which ones are the award winners? Are they even recent, or were they a few years ago? Who's current at the moment? Who's happening? Because you're also looking for energy. You're looking for currency. You're looking for, you know, businesses that are actually, you know, they're striving to be the best, because when you're their client, you're like, you know what, I've got someone who's really, really cutting edge. So it does matter. Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Hell yeah, I totally agree with you. You know, and I'm nauseatingly visual on social. You know, there's Annie, and I go, you know what, that's right, yeah, I do. I apply for them, and at the end of the day, are you a winner on the day? Sometimes you are, sometimes you're a finalist, sometimes you're not. Actually doesn't even mean that you did anything wrong. It just means that someone was better on the day, or some random factor happened, but you got to be in it to win it, and you should be recognizing. So I fully support what you're doing, and I fully support those ladies around the world who are listening in going, you know, I've always held back from that because I feel uncomfortable. My encouragement is with Annette today saying, you know, do you know what, just give it a go. Just get, you know, just one little step forward, just try and enter one. And if you've got any difficulty, definitely Yeah, just start with one. And if you're not sure even how to approach it, you feel so uncomfortable, reach out to Annette, theaudaciousagency.com. She will be more than happy just to go, yeah, let's just meet up and see what your needs are, what would be an appropriate, if you don't even know what the wards are, you go, I don't want to go international, I just don't even know what's around, or how does it all happen. She'll be able to help you, and that's what I love about Women's Biz Tribe and the community and the amazing speakers that we've got on this summit, is that they've all got areas of genius, right? And this is what they do day in, day out. So they just know it and they're not intimidated by it. They get it. They get you, right? They get you because they know that they've had that experience generally that drove them to what they're trying to help other people with now, because we all want to encourage people to have an easier path than we did, and we'll celebrate it with you. So we're out of time because we're going to need to go on to our next speaker. I would love to thank you, Annette, for coming on the Women's Biz Summit. Fantastic sharing, and really encouraging and empowering. And I thank you for your honesty and your sharing on your journey, because it can be a hell of a ride, and I know we're both on a mission to encourage women particularly to be able to just sort of, really believe in themselves and just start backing themselves and be surrounded by all this goodness that will make their road a little bit easier. So
absolutely. You. Thank you. A rising tide lifts all ships. Let's lift each other.
Ladies, are you dreaming big enough? I want you to dream big and act bigger. You see, I want to have power. I want to be empowered. Suddenly, being empowered is a more positive word, because I want to make sure that I know my own values, my boundaries. I know what I want to achieve in life. Visible and invisible barriers are only a problem if you accept them as such. So a woman with a big dream also needs to have a plan, because without a plan, that dream is just a wish.
I love her confidence, I love her charisma, and her positivity and her brightness and her colour and her lessons about life, as a woman who's been through so much. It was really, really inspiring and really interesting.
I had 4 kids in 2 years. I wanted to be a businesswoman. I had no money. I had to think, how is this dream going to happen? If you actually start believing if something's important to you, just back yourself. Back yourself despite what other people say. Successful people are not held back by what other people say.
I would recommend that for everybody, because everybody should have a dream and everybody should back themselves. So I think she's awesome.
Even when it feels like everything's not going to work, they go, you know what? I'm going to make sure that this does work. I'm going to be positive despite, because it brings energy, it brings opportunity. And as soon as you actually get half glass empty, your vision will start failing. I encourage you to start making your dreams a reality in business and in life. Thank you.